Okay, last time we discussed theoretically ECMP, equal cost multipath or multiple path routing. Okay, now this time we're gonna do the lab. Basically, we have two WAN link, WAN 1 and WAN 2, and I'm talking about this side 192.168.1 and 192.168.2. Okay, and the gateway are 254 and 2.254, which is by default here. If you go to this WAN, so there is this the gateway 1.254 and 2.254. Okay, what else? Okay, and our LAN subnet is 10.0.1.0. This is our LAN subnet 10.0.1.0. 254 has been assigned as a gateway, and 10.0.1.2, and let me stop this one, I don't need this one, and 10.0.1.1. okay, so this is our topology. So in our topology we're gonna use this site for this lab. For ECMP lab we're gonna use this side HQ firewall. We have two WAN link 192.168.1 and 192.168.2, and our LAN subnet is 10.0.1. okay, just to mention again, even though you know. Our first gateway is 1.254 and second WAN link is 2.254. We are using two port 1 for WAN 1 and port 2 for port 2. If I go back to HQ firewall, let me close the other two firewall right now, and if I go to network and interfaces, last time we configured these two interfaces, port 1 and port 2. The IP address is 1.1 and 2.1. So this is clear to you. For server check, to check, we're gonna use 88 DNS, the Google one, and protocol we're gonna use ping, just to send a ping. We will discuss this in detail, but right now we are interested how ECMP work, equal cost multipath work. Okay, this thing is clear. So what we need for ECMP, the first thing, we require same distance and same priority to route. In our case 2, it can be more than 2. So let's configure default route for these two WAN link. So I'm already in HQ firewall 114.200. So the first thing I need to configure, the basic configuration is already done from previous lab. Okay, what I need to do, I need to go to static route and here create new, and here you just need to type the gateway IP 1.254. it will take automatically WAN 1. So let me copy this one, and I want to configure default route. Administrative distance the default one, and also priority is the default one, and click OK. And let me create another one. This time the second gateway is 2.254. Again, administrative distance is same and priority is the same. That's why these two route will be installed, because AD value and priority is the same. And if you want to check, so you can type git router info routing table static. So what they done, they say the AD value is 10 and priority is 1. Everything is the same. Okay, we have the same destination but different interfaces, so we're gonna use ECMP. Last time I told you, you can increase and decrease the AD value and priority to make a primary link and backup link. Because we are discussing the typical scenario, still we are not in the SD-WAN. So this was the old technology to use. Even many companies still use this method. Maybe you have one link which is more powerful, more bandwidth. So what you can do, you can give them less distance, either less priority to make them primary, and you can give more priority to the second one, so it will not be used until the first one is down. So you can use this method. Maybe in some branches you require such method. Maybe the backup link is very slow, just for the backup purpose. So you can manipulate these two routes. I told you last time, and manipulation is through AD value and through priority. If you change the AD value, only one route will be installed. I told you last time. But if you change the priority, both route will be still there, because AD value is important to keep them in the routing table. but priority means less priority will give them more preference, that route will be used until the other one is down. So I show you these two things last time theoretically. If you want to see, let me quickly change the AD value. If I change the AD value of when 1, so it will be removed from the routing table. Get router info routing table static. You can see only one route is available with the AD value 10. The other one is being removed because of AD value. However, if I keep them the same AD value but different priority, still it will be available in the routing table. This is the only difference. So if I type get router info routing table static, so it's still available with more priority. So the priority, this link will be used more. So you can manipulate these two things, distance and priority, as per your requirement. Okay, so let me keep them same because our target is something else. We don't want primary and secondary link. We want equal cost multiple path. So okay, so routing is done for when 1 and when 2. I hope so this is clear from NSE4. Now what I need to do, now I need to create two firewall policy for these two links. So let me go to firewall policy and let's create two firewall policy. There is the default one, we need to create two. So what I need to do, let me type LAN 2 WAN 1. Okay, by the way, you can call both and one interface as well if you enable that feature. You remember from NSE4, yeah, but I want to create separately. So the traffic will come from LAN this side, okay, and it will go to WAN 1. Source will be anything. I don't want to discuss these things. This from NSE4 level, that what is these services and all things. And I want to enable the net, and I want to enable all session to be the traffic logs. Okay, I want to see this, the only thing. So this one is done and click OK. Now I need to do the same thing for the other one. So what I can do, let me write down copy and let paste below. So let's go to below and let me open this one. This time I will change only few things. LAN 2 WAN 2 this time. Okay, and the only thing I need to the outgoing interface, and net is enabled, logs is enabled. The only thing, enable this policy, because when you copy paste, so it's become disabled. Okay, and click OK, and we are done. So I created two firewall policy for both separately. Okay, LAN 2 WAN 1 and WAN 2. Okay, so after that firewall policy, what I need to check them. That's the only thing I need. The routing is there, net is there, and policy is there. So now I can check the equal cost multiple path. Let's go back to I create two default route, and I show you it's there by default. If you want to check again, so what I can do, let me show you from here quickly. So Control C and let's clear, and you can see both the route are installed. This is the destination subnet mask. This is the AD value. This is the metric. And this is the gateway, this is port 1, and this is the priority. Okay, done. Now you can verify from GUI as well if you go to routing dashboard. So if I go to network, and from here you can also verify this, the routing one. Just expand this one and you will see both with the same AD, same metric, and same priority. Okay, because it's a static route, so there is no metric for these one. From CCNA you know this one. What else? So we verify this one, and I already created two firewall policy. We are done with this point. Okay, now the testing. Okay, let's start to test them, how the traffic will go. So let me go to our any PC such as PC1. We already assigned IP addresses last time, yeah. So let me go to terminal and let's ping something. Let me ping 8.8.8. okay, and let me ping 1.1.1 as well, and let's verify what is the output. Okay, so what I can do, let me go back and let's go to logs and report, and let's go to forwarding traffic. Okay, so the traffic is not yet available, it will take some time. So let me ping again 11, and let's ping 88 again. Okay, and now let's see again. Okay, so until it's taking time, what I can do, let's trace route. until it's come up. So control L and trace route. If I want to go 8, which link it will use? D. To it will do quickly, okay? It will not translate them. So control C, because our is done. It's using the second WAN link. Let's trace route with some other IP. This time 1.1.1-D. And let's see. So again, it's using WAN 2 link. Let's another destination. Let's use yahoo.com with D. Again, so I try 3 different destination, but every time what they say that I gonna use the WAN 2 link. The reason is why? Because we say that equal cost multiple path will be applied and it will load balance the traffic. But it's not like that. I will tell you about that one. Let's refresh now and see the logs as well. Because destination interface is enabled, if it is not, click on this gear icon and you can enable destination interface from here. So every time it basically use WAN 2 link. So we verified through CLI and also we verified through GUI as well that it use the other. This is the another IP. If you are talking about WAN 2, let me make them as a source 10.0.0. So you are not confused. So if I make them 10.0, because this PC is 10.0.1.1, you remember, yeah? I don't want to explain you the topology again. So this is 10.0.1. So I go to a different destination, but every time they use the same link. And the reason is, so when we try this one, the reason is by default ECMP is using load balancing method source based on source. That's the reason we were gonna discuss load balancing in next one. Oh yes, yeah, theoretically last time we discussed, but we're gonna do the lab for load balancing in the next video. The reason is by default ECMP use based on source IP. Last time we discussed source IP. Source IP means every time when the same IP going to different destination. So in this case, I trace from PC1. So what they done? If I go to, okay, this link has been assigned to me. If I go to 88, it give me this link. If I go to 11, again this link. Yahoo, Google, Gmail, whatever I am going, because based on the source. Every time the source IP is 10.0.1.1. This is the default method of equal cost multiple path. That every time the same IP is coming, give them the same link. Maybe next time they can assign me WAN 1, but all the time I will use that WAN 1 link. Let me show you from another way. Let's try, what about the PC2? If I try from this one, maybe they're gonna assign them WAN 1, this WAN 1 to this one. Let's see. So if I try to trace route and if I go to 8.8.8.8 and -D, yes, so what they done, they assign them WAN 1 link. And every time, let me root and Tor. If you face this issue, you can type start X and it will come again to graphical, okay? Start X, okay? And let me try again from here. So trace route, and this time I can go to 1.1.1 and -D. Again, they assign me WAN 1 link because 1.254 is WAN 1 IP, yeah? This one WAN 1. Because the load balancing by default is source IP. So source IP, every time if this source is coming, they're gonna assign them, even though if they are going for a different destination. I hope so this point too is clear to you. And you can change that load balancing, which we're gonna do in the next lab, going to a CLI. It's not available graphically. Go to config system setting and you can say set V means V4 means IPv4 and ECMP equal cost multiple path, and I say I want to change the mode from source to source and destination IP base if you want to change. So when you change, this time when you go to different destination, which we discussed last time theoretically, it will give you different link. Let's try to change them. So what I can do, let me go to my firewall and config system setting and set v4 ECMP, and these are the mode which we discussed theoretically. By default, this is the default one, source IP base. I want to change them to source and destination IP base. And last time we discussed, and let me end to apply this setting. Now the change is being applied. Okay, so now what we will do there, this time when the same source is going to different destination, they will give them different link. So what was the story before? When HQ was going to different location, it gave them the same WAN2. Okay, now this time I change the mode. Let me repeat the same thing. This time if I go to traceroute yahoo.com, maybe they give them WAN2, I don't know, let's see. They give them WAN1, because source is the same but destination change. Let's try facebook.com, facebook.com-d, and again WAN1. It's okay. Let's try another thing. Let's try WAN1-d, and you can see now the difference. This time they give them WAN2. And let's try another different destination, twitter.com-d, twitter.com and -d, and you can see WAN2. So every time they are changing now, because the link is the destination is changing, and we have only two link, so they will give them sometime WAN1 and sometime WAN2, because if the destination is changing. You get the idea? Because I changed the mode. I changed them that if source and destination are changing, destination I would say, that you will understand. And so the base on the source and destination give them different link. Previously it was give them one link because it was source IP base. We're gonna discuss this in the next class. Let's move on. And you can see the logs as well if you want to verify graphically. So if I refresh this time for the same source 10.0.1.1, whenever the destination is changing, you're gonna see different WAN. The destination is changed. Let's move on. And WAN1, I don't know why I cannot see other logs. So whenever the destination is changing, the link is changing. 88 WAN1, and Twitter is going to WAN2 every time. So you can verify from here, and also you can verify 40 views session as well. I can and this is the destination interface. So let me buy this source. Okay, no, I don't want to clear. So you can see WAN1 and WAN1, and let's go. You can see now the destination is changed, source is the same 10.0.1, destination change, interface change. Again WAN2, because we have two, so that's why, and now change, so WAN1. You get the idea? So you can verify graphically as well. And even you can capture as well. Let me on the capture, and if you want to see through capture, so you can use that one as well. Maybe I mention or not. Okay, so I show through what is called only through maybe I just want to see if I show you through log. No, it's not there, so leave it. At least you can see the log, so it's working. Okay, so what else now? So we verify this one. Yeah, let's go down now. So we verify through trace route. Now what about if the link is down? Both link is available. That's why I changed the source to destination. Now both link are utilized. Okay, if the destination is changing. Now let's see if I try to ping from here, ping 8.8.8, so it's pinging, but I don't know which link they are using. So I can use trace route, and I can type 88 and -d. So it's basically using WAN1 link. It means if I try to start ping 88, so it will use WAN1 link. So let's start 888 continuously. And what about if the link is down? Right now it's using WAN1 link. Let me suspend this link, and you can go to shutdown as well. If this suspend link is not available in Eve, So what I can do, you can log into your firewall and config system interface, edit port 1. Yeah, I want to shut down port 1. Yeah, you can go to port 1 and set status, set status. Yeah, and there is up and down. Yeah, but for me, because I am using pro edition, so I will use this. So let me suspend the link, and if I suspend the link, so maybe there will be few drop, and after that it will switch over to WAN2 link automatically. Okay, so you can see it's continue the ping even though it was using that WAN1 link, but when link is not available. How I know that WAN1 is not available? Let's go to firewall to verify. Get a router info, a routing table static, table static. You can see only WAN2 is available. How I know the other one is not active? So you can use the command database, and here it says that one is inactive, the one which is 1.254, which I bring them down. So it say that is inactive, we remove them from the routing table. ECMP will do this automatically, this job for you. That it will help you in SD-WAN. When we move to SD-WAN, I will show you the same command there as well. So it take a action that because this one is down, so let me make them inactive, and the routing table, so in database is available, but in the routing table only one is available. So what they done, the traffic which was using port 1 is being switched over to port 2 automatically. Okay, and you can see now. So before, if I go back and when I trace route, it was using WAN1 link. Let's trace route again. So up arrow, and this time you can see it's using WAN2 link. So this point is already clear to you. Yeah, so I clarified two things. We change the load balancing, and then we shut down one interface to verify that it's go to the another one or not. So that one thing is also clear. So let me bring up again and resume the link. Okay, and let's go back. What else I need to see? So I show you that one which I suspend the link. Okay, and the continue ping was there, and then when I trace route, so it was using the second link. Okay, and what else? Yeah, and similarly you can bring down WAN2 link. If they are using WAN2, you can bring down WAN2 and they will use WAN1 link. But anyway, it's the same case. Okay, how you can verify that these things is being switched over automatically? Like I shut down, so everything was switched over to WAN2. Okay, so what you can do, you can go to your firewall, and you can go to system, not system, logs and report, and from here there is events, and the events you can check system events. If you go to system events, so here you will find that the interface status is being changed, link monitor. So it means link monitor is automatically there. We discussed link monitor last time, but I never configure them, even though it's required to configure link monitor for ECMP, but it's by default there. So I never show you how you can configure. And even though we done this in NSE4 as well, we configure link monitor there. It has to be through CLI. So that's why that the interface is being turned up, and before it was down. So these are the logs where you can verify as well that what's going on. Okay, so it's I mentioned here, and also I show you through get router info routing table database. So it's become inactive, and now because it's available, so there will be both link available now. And if you check database, so both are now active, not inactive. You know, previously it was that one is inactive. Okay, and also you can verify graphically as well from here. Definitely if you go to network and there is a routing, okay, when you click here, so both the link are available. But if you shut down one link, suppose if I shut down, suspend this link, and if you refresh this one, so it will show you only one link after a while, and it will show you can see now it's only one link available, and also it's showing you that the static and only WAN2 is available. But if you bring them in, okay, so graphically if you refresh, so it will both the link will be after, you know, now it's available, and both link are used. This green is WAN 1 and this one is green 2. Okay, and they say 50% both are used. Okay, and this is the routing for, because we are just want to see the static one. So here as the destination, these are the two gateway, these are the interface, this is the AD value, type is static, metric because this is the static, so static has no metric, only admin is the metric you can say, and there is a priority 1. So you can verify graphically as well, and it's the best way is to check through get routing info database and here. So the same information you can find from here as well. So this was equal cost multiple path. We check both the link working automatically and a switch over automatically, and then we verify in case if one link is down, so what will happen, so it will switch over to the other one again. And also it's also possible to make one link primary and another link as a secondary, just change to AD value and priority.